All right, welcome to the channel. I'm going to go over some trades that were done this morning. We had like four trades, two of them were on SNGX. But the first one was ONCO. Let's take a look at ONCO. ONCO. Right now, let's see. ONCO, that was 8 o'clock when the little whack job algos kick in. This was at 6:50. This was before the stream actually started. I always started at 7. Maybe I need to start it sooner because I'm starting to find out I'm getting trades between 6:30 and 7. But right here, this is the pre-market movers. The list is not going to update. Now the price, the prices are going to update. Uh, but right here, we have, here, let me put it over here. We have ONCO that I traded. ONCO, as you can see right here, ONCO. There was no catalyst. There was no news. This is pre-market. So there was really no catalyst, but at 9:40, what I did, this is Lightspeed Trader. I'm switching over to Lightspeed as a broker. Um, at 6:50, it was 6:50, which was right here. So ONCO was on the list. It was on the pre-market, and it was, I think it was actually one or two top gainers, something like that. And at 6:50, it showed up. Now I missed this move right here. If you look on the 5 minute, you look on the 5 minute at 6:35. I got up at 6 and I got to the desk around, I don't know, 6:20, 6:25. I was getting my coffee ready and everything. And then once I got my first cup of coffee, I came back to my desk and I saw this little pop here. And I'm like, oh, what is going on? And then we had a 5 minute pullback and I missed this move right here. So I guess that cup of coffee cost me a little bit of money. That first cup of coffee, I mean that was a nice trade, and I could have gotten in on that. That would have been great because right here we had the pop, we had a little pullback, and I mean right here you could have gotten like 510, get out at 520, somewhere around there. But it really never came to your down to your break even or your stop down here. And it ran up, and then we had another little pullback right here, right to the non-EMA. We had a pullback, and then we had a break of that right up in here. We had a break of that, and then that had a nice move. That was a really nice move. That was like from 522. If you got out around there, I was at 565. That was like a 30, 40 cent move, but I missed that. And then this right here, this pullback, I didn't get in, but then I saw this right here. This pullback, because I was waiting for it to come down to the non-EMA. This pullback, so it got pretty close to the non-EMA. So I decided, okay, let's go ahead and do this. Now, the first trade of the day, I don't go full tilt on the trade. I usually go about half of what I'm trading. So if you're trading with like 1,000 shares, you can go to like 500. You even go to 250 or 500, somewhere around there. Just don't go all full tilt because you're trying to get green on a nice trade. And I don't go full tilt on the trade. So what I did was right here, you can, right there would be your entry point, then your stop be roughly right about right here. So that's a pretty tight stop. That's 573 to 582. That's about a 10-cent stop right there. Now we got in like at 582. That's the high, but I didn't get in on. You don't 583. I'll look at the level two. My I have a different layout that I use for trading. This is just presenting preview. And like at 583, I get in, and then I sold half at 6. So once we got to 6, I just sold half, and then we popped, and then I sold another half. So that was I sold half, and then we sold them to the pop. Then it came down, and then I just sold it basically at my entry point right here. About it was like 25% of the position, but 75% of the position I got this move right here. So that was the first trade, and that was green, which is always nice to start the morning out with. SNGX popped up, and then if you look at the news for the pre-market movers here, SNG popped up on some news at 7:30 a.m. Biological efficacy demonstrated in a phase 2 clinical trial of SGX 945 for the treatment of Behçet's disease. Now, that is a pretty decent headline. And on the top press releases, on top press releases right here, it actually showed up as well. So, and I know the keywords that I'm searching for. This area right here, this will show you any news for that day. But press releases only scans and reads the title and only picks out certain ones. And not all the stocks are going to run. We really have to find out what the institution and what these big traders are going to be pushing. And it looked like they were pushing ONCO, and then SNGX popped up. Now SNGX popped up. Let's look at this. SNGX popped up. Now SNGX was first traded at 735 area. So right here. This was 735 area that I traded it at. Now, we had the news. So we had the news, and that was good. And by the time we got the news, we were down in this area. So I looked at this, and we had volume coming in a little bit. But then the volume right here started picking up. As you can see right here, it started picking up. But then this candle right here broke the high. Now, once it broke the high, once that candle closed and we had a little dip down there, I got in on the break of this candle at 178. Well, actually, the high is 177, so I got in at 178. 170. It might even been more. It might have been 180. I'm not sure. But I always get within a few cents of after the break, because sometimes I do an offset for the level 2, because if it's moving I do an offset, and I might have to pony up maybe 2 or 3 cents. So we got that at 178, and then we popped up, and as soon as we pop up here to $2, I'm like, okay, $2. So I sold half. As soon as we popped to $2, sold half, and then we popped up here, and then I'm like, okay, maybe we're going to run. So I was holding the other half, and then we kind of dipped down in here, and then I just go ahead and got out. Now, once we got out, I booked a little bit of profits, and I was waiting for a pullback back down to the non-EMA, and that is what we got here. We got a pullback right here. That's the pullback that we were looking at, and if you look right here, that's a micro pullback. So we had a nice run up. We had a nice run up, and then we had a pullback here. Now, your entry point is the high of this pullback right here. Your entry point is 194. As you can see up here in the top left, it's 194. So you get in at 195. Now, you get in at 195, 196, and then it popped up to 2. As soon as it popped up to 2, I was like, okay, and then we kind of closed down below, and then this candle opened up and we popped up at 2, and then we started coming back down, so I just cut it. It was half of it was a very small win, and the other half was just break even, because I got in like right here, it just break even. So got a little bit, sold half, it wasn't moving, then I was waiting, and it came back down, then I dumped the rest of it. But I made most of the money right in here. So I was trying to get more. I was trying to get more right up in here on the pullback. And that did not happen, but that's okay, because we had PBM. So we had news on SNGX. Then we had a press release come out at 7:30 for PBM. Now, PBM at 7:30, as you can see right here, really wasn't doing anything, and then we kind of spiked up here, and then we kind of sold off. It really wasn't doing anything, but we had PBM strategic collaboration with Labs yields breakthrough in high purity gain production. I'm not sure. Um, so we had news, and I was thinking, okay, we got a catalyst. 7:30. SNGX was just traded. We did that at 6:50. No, I'm sorry. We did SNGX at 7:35. Now it's 7:54 PBM. So 7:54 was right here. So we got this area right here. You could have played the break of this high right here. This is the 5-minute. Now, what I did not like was the wick right here and these topping tails right here. These wicks, these topping tails I did not like. So then we had like a little inside bar, and you could have gotten in on the break of this. I mean, that would have been a nice run. It really would have been. That would have been $1. But I didn't get into that because I just didn't like this topping tail. This topping tail, I'm like, nope, I'm not going to get in, then you just slam it down. Nope. I'm not that crazy. Well, I should have been that crazy because I would have made $1 on that move. But as we're popping up here in this area, I'm looking at it and we're popping up in this area. Now you could have bought the high break of that and then kind of ride it up, but we were extended from the 9 EMA. So what I like to do is wait for a pullback, and that's what we got right here. We got a pullback on that. So we got a pullback right here. As you can see, we got the pullback, and what you would do would get in on the break of that candle right there, which is 964. So it would be 965 that you would get in. 965, maybe 967. And then come up here to $10. And I'm thinking, all right, we're going to get $10. And I got myself about a quarter, 25 cents up in here. We're going to break $10. I'm going to be $1, $2 move. And sure enough, we popped. And as soon as we popped and we came back down to 10, sold half. Sold half right there. And then sure enough, what did we do? We came back on down on that candle. And what do you think I did when it came back down to my break even? When we started doing this, I was just hitting the hotkey to just full close out. Take a little bit off at 10, sell half, get a full close out right down in here, basically a break even. Very small winner, wouldn't even count it, just break even. But that's what you have to play. You got to sell them to the pops. We get that whole number, that $10. I sell half. I thought we were going to run with it, and then we didn't. So, but hey, I got myself a quarter on a little bit of position, and that was another green trade. So that was pretty good. That was pretty good for PBM. We had some news. I kind of missed the big move right up in here. Right here was the big move. But the one thing is I was looking at that topping tail right there, and I was just not into that at all. Now, if this was a nice green candle and you had a real small topping tail, like this, the first one I ain't too worried about. But this one right here, that one right there at 7:35, 5 minutes after the news, and then we get pop, and then we dump back down and got that topping tail. I do not like that. If it was a full candle like this one, yeah, sure. I'd get all in that. But no, I'm a little reserved on that. So let's see, PBM, and then the next trade was back on SNGX. SNGX at 841, 841, 841. 841 is right up in this area. Yeah. So 841 was right up in here. So 841 is right up in here. And see this candle right here. As soon as we start breaking that high at 186, I was thinking, okay, we're going to be good. So there, I was thinking a break of the 5 minute high candle right there. I figured we'd go back up to $2 pretty easily. So we had a run up here. I don't like doing breakouts on consolidations. I like getting the pop and then getting the pullback. So we got the pop, we got a pullback on this candle, got to pull back on that candle. And I was waiting, and we got a touch of 9 EMA. So touch up 9 EMA. But what I was waiting for, because this candle here, was that volume with the red candle was a little too much. So I didn't want to get in on the touch of the 9 EMA. So what I did was I just do my plan and I just wait for the break. And what we got here, you put your stop down here. And then what you do is you get a break on the high right there. You get in on the break of the high right there. We got that break. We opened up. We popped up to 190. I was looking at the level 2. We kind of was stalling out, so I sold half, and then we came back down, and then I just dumped it before we got to the break even. So that was another small winner. So today wasn't all that great. It was just one decent size trade, and then a couple half trades, and then the break evens. So that's all. That's all the trades we had. Make sure you download the scanner. It's in beta. It's free to use. So just go ahead and download it. Join the live streams.